It is high time you listen to the Chronicle on More Radio. Yes, it is that time you listen to the Chronicle on More Radio. And of course, that every Saturday, 2 p.m. UK time and 3 p.m. Nigerian time, this is where we get it locked down on another interesting edition of your favorite radio program on More Radio. We are live at Willing Hall, United Kingdom. Our way today has been our weekend, throughout the weekend is treating us well. Yes, by the way of introduction, if you are listening to me for the very first time, you're hearing me for the very first time on this radio dial. Of course, by the way of introduction, Mr. Babala is my name, your metamorphosed, enigmatic personality. You can always call me your media man. I'm always a bigger and better. The big people of UK, our week today. Let's do this together. And of course, you can enjoy more radio. You can visit our website at www.moreradio.co.uk at moreradio www.moreradio.co.uk. You can follow us on all social media platforms at More Radio on Instagram, More Radio on Instagram, More Radio on Facebook, and also on YouTube, More Radio on YouTube, More Radio on YouTube. Yes, if you are listening through our website, a good one. And also, you can also listen on Radio Garden. Yes, More Radio is on Radio Garden. We are so concerned about about your own pleasure, about you being well educated, about you being well informed on More Radio. So we are out on Radio Garden. Just search More Radio UK on Radio Garden. You can also go to Radio Box. Just search More Radio on Radio Box as well, and you're good to go. Yes. How do I start today? What do you want to do on today's show? For a good 45 minutes, we locked it down here, taking you back to the historical lane. If you are a fan of history, I think this should be your favorite radio program. My people, my family fans, do well to share this to the whole world. You are free to share this on your content. Let people learn. Let our children learn. Let our grandchildren learn. Fathers, mothers, come and learn from history. This is More Radio. We are live on More Radio on the program named The Chronicle. And what do we do on The Chronicle? This is where we talk about history. This is where we talk about history. We talk about people that have shaped our world, people that has done one thing or the other, both positive and negative. Because if you want to learn right, you have to learn both from the positive and also learn from the negative. And that's why today will not be an exception. I'm here with another interesting story. Yes. Whose history are we talking about today? Whose story do I have? Whose history are we tracing today? Whose history are we talking about today? This history will resonate more with people from Oyo State, especially Ibadan as a city. But anyways, the person we want to talk about is a national person, a national actor. So there's no way we talk about this person that everyone in Nigeria, every Nigerian will not relate. Yes, bringing to the table today, this Saturday afternoon, is the story of Chief Gbadamosi Adegoke Adelabu. Somebody saying, ooh, of course. That's for Chief Penkelemesi Adelabu. Without wasting much of our time, let me dive into the story. Chief Gbadamosi Adegoke Adelabu, popularly known as Adelabu Penkelemesi, was a charismatic, self-made Nigerian nationalist, orator, writer, and populist politician from Ibadan. He rose from humble origins to become a dominant figure in Ibadan and Western region politics in the final years of British colonial rule. He served as chairman of the Ibadan District Council, Federal Minister of Natural Resources and Social Services, and leader of the opposition in the Western House of Assembly. As the chairman of the Ibadan District Council, Federal Minister of Natural Resources and Social Services, and leader of the opposition in the Western House of Assembly. His fiery rhetoric and a grassroots appeal and opposition to the action group AG under Obafemi Awolowo made him a folk hero among the Ibadan masses. Well, Adelabu was born on 3 September 1915 in Oke-Oluokun or Oke-Oluokun compound, Ibadan, into a modest Muslim Yoruba family. His father, Sanusi Ashiambi Adelabu, was a weaver and textile trader. His mother, Awujola or Ajoke Adelabu, Sanusi's second wife and a petty trader, died around 1920 when Adelabu was about 5 years old. He was then raised by a paternal aunt who, despite the family's Muslim faith, valued Western education and secured a baptismal certificate to enroll him in Christian missionary schools. So Chief Adelabu Penkelemesi attended St. David CMS Elementary School, Kudeti, Ibadan, around 1925 to 1929, with double promotions. CMS Central Schools, Mapo, Ibadan, in 1930, and Government College, Ibadan, GC High School, 1931 onward, where he excelled academically, a double promotion noted, always top of his class, described by contemporary Prof. Saburi Biobaku as perhaps the brightest boy that Government College Ibadan has ever produced. He served as a boy and showed aptitude in long-distance running. He left GC High while still in secondary school. In 1936, he gained admission to Yabaya College, Nigerian's only higher institution at that time, on a United African Company UAC scholarship to study commerce, but attended only briefly 6 months or so before leaving, with the scholarship reportedly unused In some accounts, he was noted for brilliance but expressed a personal dissatisfaction with a former part, later writing about his egotism and drive to prove my mettle. Yes, of course, it is the More Radio or More Radio UK, and Israel Bola is live on your favorite radio program, The Chronicle. The Chronicle is the name of the show. The name of the show is The Chronicle. You know that every 2 p.m. Nigerian UK time and 3 p.m. Nigerian time, this is where we get locked it down on your favorite dial, your choice of stations. Yes, do well to follow me on all social media platforms. Do well to follow us on our social media platform at More Radio UK, More Radio UK, More Radio on Instagram, More Radio on Facebook, More Radio on YouTube. We are live, doing well, bigger and better, just to ensure that you are well informed and to ensure that you're well educated and also well entertained. That's why we have a lot of content dropping on More Radio. Israel Babala is my name, and I am your host, as I'm always your host on your favorite program, The Chronicle. This is the More Radio, and this is The Chronicle with your favorite host, Israel Babala. And you know that every 2 p.m. UK time and 3 p.m. Nigerian time, for good 4 to 5 minutes, we do this together. We learn from history. We learn from things that are occurred in the past. We are talking about the popular political actor, businessman, Chief Adegoke Adelabu, the popular Penkelemesi. I know you're still hoping, what's the meaning of that Penkelemesi? Well, today, I will give it to you. I will tell you the full story, the brain behind what? Penkelemesi. Well, do well to share it to the world. Let the world know that there is a program that calls every 2 p.m. UK time on More Radio. Well, because of time, let me quickly dive into other things about Adelabu Penkelemesi. Adelabu joined the UAC as an assistant to the Ibadan district manager, touring cocoa producing areas and proposing a reorganization of cocoa trade and distribution. This earned him promotion to assistant producer manager, one of the earliest African in such roles. Some account call him the first African manager in produce. Haberdashery sections. He left UAC around 1935 for independent produce trading unsuccessful, then served in the colonial civil service from 1939 as an agricultural inspector and supervisor of a cooperative society until 1945. And he rejoined UAC successfully for several years before shifting to private textile trading with 11 times claimed in Ibadan. He invested strictly but remained focused on community and emerging political networks, including support for junior chiefs and illiterate traditional elite against perceived elitist or foreign influences in Ibadan chieftaincy affairs. is yesterday's the story of Adegoke Penkelemesi. Let's talk about his political career. Adelabu entered politics through local Ibadan struggles. He acted as secretary and petition writer for Gbadamosi Adegoke, led by Bello Abasi, backing junior chiefs against Agbaje's potential ascension as Olubadan. This built his reputation as literate ally to traditionalists. In 1951, he grew with Augustus Akinloye and Ibadan Progressive Union Youth. Yes, as I was saying, I said the youth. In 1951, his group with Augustus Akinloye and the Ibadan Progressive Union Youth co-founded the Ibadan People's Party (IPP). It won all 6 Ibadan seats in the Western Regional Assembly, but fragmented. 4 members defected to the AG, while Adelabu aligned with the NCNC National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, becoming secretary of its Western Province Working Committee. In 1952, he published Africa in Ebullition, being a handbook of freedom for Nigerian nationalists, outlining his radical nationalist and somewhat socialist views, while openly admitting his egotism. So for the 1954 local elections, he formed the Ibadan Taxpayers Association, aligned with the Mayegun League of Farmers in the Mabolaje Grand Alliance. The Ibadan District Council elections, Adelabu became chairman 1954 to 1956 and head to the Finance Committee. He also won a Federal House of Representatives seat in 1954 and rose to first national Vice President of the NCNC from January 1955 to January 1956. He served as Federal Minister of Natural Resources and Social Services, currently with the Council Chairmanship. In the 1956 Western Regional elections, the NCNC, under Adelabu's leadership in the West, lost to the AG. He became leader of the opposition in the Western House of Assembly in 1956 to 1958. And here comes the story of the Penkelemesi. So, he famously described the chaotic opposition dynamism as a peculiar mess, which is largely non-literate supporters Yorubanized into Penkelemesi. You get that right? You get that right. If you don't get it, don't forget about it. I can't forget. So this is where it comes. It's the Penkelemesi of the thing came from. He described the chaotic opposition dynamism, because NCC, they lost to the AG. And he has emerged as the opposition leader. So they lost to the AG. So the chaos, everything that happened, that occurred. So Adelabu Adegoke now describe the whole situation as peculiar mess. A mess that is very peculiar. So his non-literate supporters now Yorubanized it into Penkelemesi. So they turned peculiar mess to Penkelemesi, the nickname that defined him. He advocated for a Yoruba central state, carving out Oyo, Ibadan, and Ondo provinces from the western region, and opposed certain NCNC national strategies, calling an age-inclusive, what should I call it? Inclusive government plan and unholy alliance. So the truth, the style of Penkelemesi is style blended elite English fluency with populist appeal, campaigning with drummers, allowing masses to ride in his ministerial car, and wearing inscribed campaign clothes. Adelabu, premier of the western region, he was known as the Lion of the West for his combative charisma. So the age-dominated Western Regional Government launched a 1955 Commission of Inquiry into the Ibadan District Council's affairs amid allegations of corruption and mismanagement under Adelabu's chairmanship. He resigned as federal minister in January 1956. He was replaced by J.M. Johnson. After the council's dissolution, he faced multiple criminal charges, bribery, corruption, etc. However, he was acquitted in all cases, emerging unblemished, according to contemporary accounts. The inquiry and charges were widely viewed as politically motivated by rivals, and Adelabu retained strong grassroots support. No final adverse findings prevented his continuing political role. As sources confirmed, he was declared legal. Well, I'm afraid. Before then, let's talk about his death and aftermath. It is still More Radio. You are listening to More Radio on your favorite radio program, The Chronicle. The Chronicle. You know, I will tweet every 2 p.m. UK time, and 3 p.m. Nigerian time is where you get it locked on with Israel Babalola, your media man, bringing to you the world of history, bringing to you things that have happened in the past, talking about our heroes past, among others. Okay, should we go on a break? Well, like I said, let's talk about the date. On 25 March 1958, 8:42 weeks before his 43rd birthday, Adelabu died in a head-on car. In a head-on car collision on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, mile 51, near Shagamu, between Odirema and Iperu. He was returning from Lagos, where he had accompanied a Lebanese Syrian businessman, Albert Yuan, to the African Continental Bank regarding a textile business venture. In a Peugeot saloon, variously described as 203, 205 or ash grey model, driven by Yuan. Along with it, the vehicle collided with an oncoming Austin. The Peugeot caught fire. Yana and others survived with injuries. Adelabu was pronounced dead at Shagamu Hospital. What a sad story. Post-mortem had confirmed accidental death from injuries. E.g., one 1958 newspaper report cited heart rupture and torn lung consistent with trauma. As conspiracy theories immediately circulated, breaks tampered with, assassination by political enemies, AG figures, staged crashed, or even ran suicide, but this lacked evidence. The family sued insurance company and insurance for negligence, initially winning damages like £6,030 that were later received on appeal. The case settled out of court for £3,000. No foul play was ever proven. His sudden death at the peak of his career shocked Nigeria. His sudden death at the peak of his career shocked Nigeria. Ibadan saw riots. His supporters attacked the perceived AG opponents, burned properties, and clashed with authorities. Death toll estimate 3 to 20 plus hundreds arrested. Over 75,000 mourners attended his burial on 26 March at his Oluokun home, now a historical site, sometimes called the Taj Mahal. Tribute came from across the political spectrum, including Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, who called him a fearless, formidable, colorful nationalist, and others praising his intellectual courage and commitment to the masses. He left behind multiple wives. Popular accounts mention around 12, and children around 15 at the time of death. So his descendants include prominent figures like Adebayo Adelabu, who is grandson, who is the current Nigerian Federal Minister of Power. Well, Adelabu remains an icon of Ibadan populism, anti-elitism, and pre-independence nationalism. His Penkelemesi phrase endures in Yoruba and Nigerian discourse for any chaotic or peculiar situation. He symbolized the self-made man who championed the Talakawas, common people, Talaka, from the word Talaka. He symbolized the self-made man who champions the Talakawas, common people, against colonial and regional establishment of figures. His life is studied in works like Post and Jenkins' biography and annual commemoration considered. Well, my good people, my fans home and abroad, my fans family, this is the historical background of Chief Gbadamosi Adegoke Adelabu Penkelemesi. So for the sake of clarity, if you follow me so well, and I spoke about Adebayo Adelabu now. So the current Adebayo Adelabu, who is aspiring for the post of governor, for the post of the governor of Oyo State, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, and who is also is the grandson to Chief Adegoke. Chief Adegoke. Gbadamosi Adegoke Adelabu. So Adebayo Adelabu, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, is just using the Penkelemesi as a ride because that was the name of his grandfather. Chief Adebayo Adelabu is currently the Nigerian Federal Minister of Power and also aspiring for the post of governor in Oyo State. Well, I'm afraid it's a convenient point for me to go out of the show. It's been a long ride. I believe you enjoyed the show. You join me again next week. But before that, tomorrow is Sunday. You'll be joining me on Miliki. Miliki program is a Yoruba entertainment program where we make do with oldies. But I'm afraid I have to go right now. Israel is my name. You're a first enigmatic personality. You can always call me a media man. I'm always a bigger and better. Like I do say, do good, be good, and be real always. Israel Babala, I bow.